It is time! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shady Pixels podcast, the show where we break down video games to the shadings and pixels topic by topic. I am one of your hosts, BJ Bunny 3000. We are here with the man, the myth, the legend, Esteban coloring, as well as my boy, Little Big Ham, Shawn. Say what's up, people.
Legend.
I am not.
But we are here, and we are live. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking E3. We are so close. It is almost here. All of that orgasmic new video game goodness is almost here. When does it start again? June? The
second week of June.
Second week of June, so that's somewhere
on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes, it's around at that time.
The 9th.
Yes, June 9th, ladies and gentlemen. It all kicks off then with, what is it? Is it Microsoft is Sunday, so it's EA. Yeah, the one that nobody will watch.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that in just a little bit. Mm-hmm. But basically today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get into the first part of E3, which is the non-Big Three presentations. We're going to take a look at what is planned. We're going to kind of guesstimate what we think or what we would like to see as their surprise for each one of these presentations. And we're going to try to keep it all within about an hour or so. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into it. First up, that is not going to be presented, but first up on our list is Ubisoft.
Ubisoft is good. Ubisoft, our brothers down in France.
Yeah. And a good chunk of them are also in Canada. Like, their biggest development studios are in Canada.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is French.
I'm guessing just right off the top, before we even get into the stuff that we know is going to be there, I'm guessing that they're definitely going to say something about some new mobile, some new, not mobile, but all within this one game universe. Some either new mobile, some new poster, some new music, some new movie, some new something from Assassin's Creed, because that's their bread and butter. And then, they got to say something, even if they just throw it up on the screen and say, oh, we're going to have a new mobile game coming out in 2 months for Assassin's Creed where you create your own hoodie. I don't know. Something goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Assassin's Creed. I think they'll do something, but I don't know if they're going to like go back to the pattern that they had before, where there was a brand new Assassin's Creed every year.
Yeah. I think they still will. They still make too much money off of that thing.
There might be maybe just like a really big DLC pack, like an expansion pack for Origins.
Oh, that reminds me. Origins. You know how they had that new, not necessarily new, but they kind of added that educational mode where they go on tour through Egypt and they start doing all this stuff and walking around and showing you stuff about Egypt. If you don't know, now you know.
I guess so.
Honestly, and I doubt they'll use E3 to present it, but I do remember hearing them say that they're going to make that a real initiative, education-wise, where they're going to start trying to do more civilizations or whatever using that whole Assassin's Creed tour thing, because Origins, apparently the one they did with Origins was such, I don't want to call it gangbusters, but so many people liked it.
I think what they'll do is they will probably have like some type of presentation before like the next E3 before that, where they'll say how like the educational mode was. I think they call it like museum mode or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think they'll be like, this is how successful it was. They might have, one of those videos where they have go into different schools and the teacher will be like, oh, they learned so much.
They walked around. It was beautiful.
Yeah. You're just like this guy just walking around, not killing anyone.
Exactly.
No one's trying to kill you.
So what about the stuff we know is going to be there?
We know about Skull and Bones.
Yep.
That was the pirate game that they announced. And it's
their Sea of Thieves clone. Yeah. Well, not clone, but that's their version, I guess.
I mean, it's their expansion on the idea that was introduced in Black Flag.
Yes, which is what everyone wanted in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be coming out this year. We know almost nothing about it, though.
Which I think is a good strategy.
Sure. Yeah.
Less is more.
Granted, I'm still heartbroken over Scalebound.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a Microsoft game, but still. Yeah. I will. I wasn't like hyped for anything, but I still wanted to see that be released.
That was the game I heart, and this is me.
That's sad.
Yeah. If I had some beer, I'd pour some out for it.
Let me see, what else do we know?
We know they're going to talk Division 2.
Yeah.
They already announced that.
I don't care, but I guess people liked it.
I honestly, Division, I had a blast with it going through the single player mode with my friends. It's a great co-op game. I even had a decent amount of fun early on when they did, what is it, the Dark Zone or whatever. A decent amount of fun until all the trolls destroyed the fun in that area. And then when they started introducing all the little extra area challenges that you were supposed to beat for like all the different DLC, it's like the difficulty just shot up through the freaking roof. And it was, there was no middle ground.
Yeah.
In terms of the difficulty. And it was so ridiculously hard that people basically were finding like glitches so that they could cheat their way through it because it was that hard. Because if you didn't beat it when you went through it, you literally wasted an hour of your life trying to get through it and had to start all over again because you couldn't beat it basically. So,
I remember reading a lot of problems with that game and people saying that it's fun, but there's too many things that are wrong with it, and then they did some updates and they were weird. And I remember hearing something about this the campaign about how people were mad that like the final boss was like a helicopter or something.
Yeah, it was a helicopter. I had no problem with that. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was an action game that was it was a very good co-op action game. It was, it reminded me of trying to play Ghost Recon co-op, which was a lot of fun but difficult. You didn't expect too much out of it, but there was enough shooting mechanics and stuff in it that, and difficulty that it made it fun. And they threw the loot in there, and that's all I needed. Yeah, it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So they still have work that they had to do on it in order to make it something to keep people.
Maybe it's something like Watch Dogs, where the original came out and it was flawed, and people were disappointed a little bit by it, but enough people liked it to the point that they went, well, maybe we can get this right in where it needed to be in a second game.
It was very ambitious. Yeah. It was definitely very ambitious. So I'm excited to see what they have. But yeah, I did feel bad that I bought the ultimate full DLC version. Kind of like Destiny. I felt real bad that I, got duped into buying the full. Well, I didn't buy that's the thing. I didn't buy the full DLC version of Destiny. I purposefully decided not to and just said, you know what? I'll have fun with it for a little while, and that's probably all I'm going to have.
That's probably smart.
And that's what happened.
Yep.
And Beyond Good and Evil 2 shall also be revealed. Well, not revealed. They kind of already revealed it, right? They revealed it last year. Yeah, they revealed it last year. So hopefully they'll have a date. I don't know, something.
Maybe this time they'll have a game.
I'm anticipating. This is more of a hope rather than anticipation, but gameplay. Like, just show me the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll be happy.
Don't show me a logo.
What this game is.
Don't show me a logo in a date. Show me some gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, like last time that video was cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But then afterwards, you found out like, the game's barely started. Like they whatever it is that they had, they kind of scrapped and then they kind of restarted. They barely just did that like last year. So I'm like, okay, this thing doesn't exist yet.
I absolutely hate E3. I hate that whole premise of, we need to tell them that we're working on a game and that we don't know when it's going to be released. It could be 3 years from now, but we're going to announce it at E3. I freaking hate that. Don't do it.
We'll be getting to Square Enix in a bit.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. We'll hold off on that because we're not Square Enix yet. But
next, they're probably going to announce something about For Honor. I'm guessing they may either do. Well, they've been pushing hard on trying to get people to get in and stay in and play.
Yeah.
They've already released DLC and stuff for it, so I don't know. Maybe they've got another round of DLC, hoping that they can kind of put it in the same, Siege? Rainbow Six Siege?
Yeah.
Maybe they're kind of planning for it to be kind of a seasonal kind of thing where they add, heroes every season or something. Yeah. I could definitely see that because I've had a lot of fun with that game. It's just that it's difficult and very strategic in terms of how you have to do the duels and stuff. So it rubs some people the wrong way because it's a thinking man's fighting game.
Okay.
It's very. I mean, it's very tactical, but there are some moves in it that, because they're unblockable, it kind of, you with certain characters, you can just kind of nerf everybody if they don't know the specific way and timing to block or dodge certain moves. So it can get frustrating at times with people that are experts.
I can see that. The way that the combat's handled kind of reminds me, as someone who plays a lot of fighting games, it reminds me of a little bit like Bushido Blade on the PS1.
Yes. I played that for a very brief amount of time, but yes, I can see that's coming from.
Yeah. So, I mean, I enjoyed that game. I wasn't in love with it, but I enjoyed it. So, I can also see why that type of gameplay would not be for everyone.
Me too.
So, I mean, if they want to push a niche audience and just roll with that, then sure.
Yeah, I think, because honestly, I don't know of any other real fighting game that Ubisoft has. Right?
I was about to say Bloody Roar, but no, that's owned by Konami.
Right.
And Konami.
Yeah, I mean, modern titles or whatever. I really don't think they have any other fighting games.
Yeah, so they don't have a fighting
game.
And
this one kind of, the way they kind of built this one up, this is about as close to a fighting game as Ubisoft has got. So it'll be interesting to see.
Sure.
We talked a little bit about Skull and Bones since we don't know much else about it, or seeing much else about it. Rather,
I'm open to seeing some more. That's all I got to say about it.
Somewhere in there were rumors where they said something about a game called Starlink.
Yeah, I saw that. I know nothing about it.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty certain. I don't think anyone has, because it was just a rumor. So I don't know. Maybe they did announce it and say that they were doing it, and everybody just kind of looked at them, cross-eyed, like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Please show
By
us,
the sounds of it, it sounds more like one of the mobile games that you would have out, because that sounds like
mobile games. That's what I'm talking. Oh, sorry.
Just like, you can link stars, and it's called Starlink. I don't know.
Beautiful.
It sounds like a 4X game to me.
Oh my gosh, they're doing porn now?
No.
I'm just playing. I know.
3X.
It's 3Xs.
What is it? Expand, explore, exterminate, and
extreme.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know it's something like that. It's like the little strategy game thing.
Yeah. It's a strategy game. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's way more complex, but that's essentially what it is.
Gotcha. And then they got something else. Yeah, then they got something else in there, transference.
I've heard a little bit about this.
That sounds like a science textbook or something.
It's a VR game. And I remember it being kind of like, when you look around and everything, you only see things as you hear it, so to speak. Like the world around you fills up as you hear sounds, vibrating off the walls.
Kind of like Unfinished Swan with the whole paint mechanic.
Exactly, I was about to say that. Except instead of paint, it's sound waves.
Yeah. If I have to say anything about Ubisoft, just based off their press conference last year and the year before that, they are the ones that will more and more push VR than I think anybody else on this list. Maybe Bethesda, but Ubisoft, in terms of VR IP.
Honestly, I think they need to save all their VR stuff for some other time. They shouldn't bring any VR to freaking E3, because how the hell are you going to put it in presentation and use it or whatever, and it be something that people are actually going to get? Because we've already seen the whole VR thing not necessarily flop, but not necessarily take off to the point where they really spend much, if any, time on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, VR is very niche right now.
Yeah, it's like, okay, unless you're promoting this for like the little VR arcades or something, you pretty much don't really even need to spend time on it, other than just announce it. Hey, we got a VR game. Put a little, JPEG on it. It's on the floor. You want to try it out? Great. Bye. You know what I mean?
Would you say that it didn't PSC move units, that it didn't connect with the audiences, that we don't expect it to go very far?
Yes, I would say that.
I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
Shawn Richards, pun lord.
Quickly, what do you think their surprise may be?
I've been hearing rumblings about this, but my guess is Splinter Cell.
Yes, I think I heard that as well. New Splinter Cell, which I've never played, so surprise is on me. Whatever.
I'm really hoping. I'm maybe in the minority for this, but I'm really hoping for another Rayman.
Oh, I would love
Rayman?
that. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love that.
Yeah, they might do something. They throw it up in there and say, "Oh, we've got a how many Rayman games were? There's only one, right? Or
There's
there
a
two?
bunch of them.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll do like a collection.
Oh,
that would be really good. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
The
that seems
800,000
to be the thing.
port of Rayman 2, sure.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing nowadays. Throw a collection together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like if you could bundle like 2 and 3 together, like the two that people actually like.
I mean,
of the originals.
One has its place. I understand why you're saying that, but one has its place. I mean, they included Crash Bandicoot 1 in the Insane Trilogy. So, I just got the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. They put Street Fighter 1 in there.
Yes, they did.
And that game is hot garbage.
This is true.
Well,
this is
cold
true.
garbage. It came out 30 years ago, but yeah.
Speaking of garbage, let's do Electronic Arts. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I love you, EA. I do. I really do. You guys are awful. I mean, awesome. Okay.
Can I say one last thing though on Ubisoft?
Oh yes, you can. Just don't say they're awful. We like them.
Yeah, I'm mostly positive on Ubisoft. I know people have problems with them, and I see why, but still. I am a little weird when it comes to the Assassin's Creed games, and that I know they're not good games, but I still like them.
No, they're good games. Why
No,
would you say they're not
really
good
not.
games?
They're really not. They have repetitive mission structures and everything, but that's why I like them.
There are tons of video games that have repetitive game structure or whatever, and are still fun.
But
Pac-Man
they're not good
repetitive as hell.
either.
But Pac-Man is good as hell, Esteban. Come on, man.
I said I liked it. The reason why I like Assassin's Creed as much as I do is
Don't
because
call it a bad game, especially if you like it. Everything is subjective. Remember that. Until it's just a bad game.
It feeds my OCD. That's why I like it so much. And that's not necessarily a good thing, though.
Like I said, different things for everybody.
But what I'm getting at is I kind of, like, it bugs me, and this is going back to my OCD, actually. It kind of bugs me that I can't play Assassin's Creed 1, 3, and Liberation on modern consoles. Because they ported all the other games, including Rogue, for some reason, onto modern consoles. So I just want remasters of those 3 games.
Beware what you ask for. Before you know it, they'll have one. And knowing the way that Ubisoft goes, this is probably a prime time for them to do something like that.
Well, I think it's weird that they gave Rogue a remaster. That bugs me. Like, really? That's the one you went with?
It's probably coming. E3! Let's keep it moving. Let's do this.
EA. Right.
Yeah,
Sports games, Battlefield, sports games, Anthem, sports games.
And we're done. Awesome. EA is done. So what do you think will be their surprise?
They'll trot out some indie title.
I think their surprise will be that they're going to make another Battlefront this year just so they can get rid of Battlefront 2. Prediction is not going to come true, but I'm going to put it out there in the ether anyway.
Don't do that. That game will not sell. That game will bomb because everyone's...
I freaking love Star Wars. Just give me Star Wars anything. I'll buy it.
No.
Except for
Star Wars 13.
I honestly did not buy that.
It's back from the dead, baby.
Yep. If they want to get some goodwill, yeah, they'll do that. Yeah. If they want to get some goodwill back and be like, yeah, we're going to bring it back. We've had no time to develop it, but here you go. Yee!
Hot garbage.
Yes. You know what they could do? And this is weird because this is actually feeding into the bullshit that they do, but they would bring back NBA Jam or NBA or NFL Blitz or both, really, and make that yearly.
They somebody... Yeah, I don't know if it was EA that did it, but they do have, what is it called, EA Playground, NBA Playgrounds.
Yeah,
and that's like a updated version of NBA Jam.
That's not the same thing. Screw that. I want the
real
shit.
I know it's hard to.
Here's the way I would pitch it. Here's how I would pitch it. I would be like, you can make it yearly in the way that you release the sports games. Usually when the season's about to start.
Oh God, no! Don't do another roster update thing yearly. No,
you can release it around the time of the playoffs or the finals.
Actually, you know what? I think there is an actual old version of NBA Jam where somebody mods it every year and does that. On what platform, I don't know. But I think somebody already does that.
If it's on a platform like an older one, and they put it online, then my immediate guess would probably be the Super Nintendo version. But
that's my guess. But I think somebody already does that.
And unless somebody is modding like the new one that came out, the new one that came out like 7 years ago.
I
don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Did you want to say anything else about the different EA stuff? Because I mean,
well, there's another big one. There's another
big one.
There's another big one they'll probably talk about. They'll probably talk about Anthem.
Well, yeah, we know they're going to talk about Anthem. Yeah, they're still trying to figure out dynamics and stuff with that. I've seen stuff on, the development and the challenges they found. When is that supposed to release? That's supposed to be sometime late this year, right?
No, it's early next year.
Or is that in September? Next year?
Early next year.
Okay. Then I have more faith in it then.
They have to figure out how to take the loot boxes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cautiously excited about it. I like anything that has robotic or suits or whatever in it. I'm just a sucker for that. Call me crazy, but that's how they freaking got me with Destiny. That's how they get me every year with freaking Halo? Not every year, but every Halo. That's how they get me. So what you gonna do? Throw some robots in it, BJ gets it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I would be more willing to see your point if Titanfall was already not a thing. We're already getting
it's kind of a different format.
Is it though? I mean,
it is. It is. Titanfall is built as a Call of Duty clone.
Right.
This is supposed to be built as a more MMORPG.
It's Destiny
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a Destiny.
So it's kind of it's a bit the framework just seems like it's a bit different. It sounds like they're almost even trying to go Monster Hunter-ish with it.
Okay.
With crafting and different monsters and stuff like that. It kind of sounded like that's what they're trying to do.
Maybe you've seen more about it than I have.
I just from reading about it, not necessarily even seeing about it, just from reading about it, because I don't want to say I've been reading closely, but I've seen some stuff where they kind of talked about, the different. I don't know. That's just something I remember reading once or twice about it. So who knows? We'll find out soon enough.
Sure.
Soon enough. Sports. Loot boxes. Pay more, pay to play. New roster updates, new game physics, new players, new colors, new everything. NBA Live's gonna suck, FIFA's gonna suck, Madden's gonna suck. Okay, now
we added a few more polygons to the player models so that the grass on it.
Yes, the sweat is actually going to move this time. It's not just going to stay in place and glitter.
Oh my god.
It'll drip down their face.
Sweat physics, and the crowd will now spit racist stuff at you as you're going into an opponent's arena. Boom! Dynamic crowd AI.
I would love it. I would adore it if they had a feature in the game where you get to the point where the national anthem starts playing and then half the team leaves and goes back into the lockers.
Press X to kneel.
Yes. Say word. Say word.
Also, quick side note, I wonder if the bullshit that the NFL has been pulling recently with the whole national anthem thing is going to affect the sales of Madden at all.
Oh, hell no.
No.
The game is the game. It's not even going to affect. It's not even going to affect like their sales. The players will find a way around it, and the teams will find a way around it. They'll just protest in a different way. Then it's the nature of a protest.
Sure.
They'll find a way to protest and get it known. So
no matter what you do, life finds a way.
Oh! What is that? Indiana Jones? No, not Indiana Jones.
Jurassic
Park.
Yeah.
Oh, I was close.
Da, 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 life finds a way.
Okay, let's move on from here.
Yeah.
Bethesda.
Shawn is dead.
Well, actually, you know what? Do we want to save Bethesda and do, because we know Bethesda is like meaty and that one's probably the one we're all waiting for.
Yeah, let's
do Square Enix. You want to do Square Enix, or do you want to?
Let's do Square Enix.
Well, how much time do we have? Do we want to mess around and do that after the break or something?
Yeah, let's take a break now. We can do the other three because, especially with Devolver Digital, that's probably not going to take us a lot of time.
Yeah, Devolver Digital we buy. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're going to take a break. Right. Oh wait, I'm not the host. BJ, do your job.
What are you talking about, man? Keep it down over there, ladies and gentlemen. Hostess with the mostest will want to see you after the break. So keep it right here. We will be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome back to the Shaded Pixels podcast. We are digging into E3, all of the non-Big 3 presentation, prediction type stuff, all that other good stuff. So, let's go ahead and jump into it, fellas. We are at, what, Square?
Yeah, Square Enix.
Digital Devolver Enix?
We're at 2/3 of that?
Yeah, Sean's throwing the Wu-Tang signs over there.
Yeah.
Supposed to be Square. Jesus.
Oh, Square. Sorry.
Square.
Goodness. Get my glasses checked.
Yeah.
I'm white. Do you think I belong in a gang? Look at me.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Hey, equal opportunity, man. Equal opportunity.
The Wu-Tang Clan is an equal opportunity employer.
That's right. So yes, we got Square Enix. From what I've seen out there in the interwebs, they are definitely going to do something around Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which apparently is supposed to drop September 14th.
Yeah. It's disappointing to me that like no one really seems to be hyped for that game. Like the reception on that game is kind of meh. Like no one really cares.
I mean, honestly, Tomb Raider is almost like Assassin's Creed for me. It's like you know that there's gonna be one every few years, so it's like by the time you actually get done playing one, the next one's right around the corner. So it's like hard to kind of get up for games of that nature. You know what I mean? It's even for me, it's even harder because you know Tomb Raider. It's like the appeal of Tomb Raider is what it's just, you know, it's still the same character. The you know, I don't know. It's just hard for me to get up for a new Tomb Raider game.
I don't know what you're getting at, but I mean,
no, I mean just I mean, you know how when you've got certain games of this nature that have a lot of sequels that are based around one character. Most of the time, in order to get the buzz going, they either go with, okay, it's got a snazzy new locale, you know, like they do with Assassin's Creed. It's going to be based in these couple of areas or something like that. Or what's another high volume adventure game? Uncharted isn't quite there, but Uncharted is kind of a beast of its own, just mainly because it's known to be a lot more cinematic, and it's done by Naughty Dog, and you know that is the right developer, right?
Yeah,
Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
You know they're big story, you know, cinematic people, so you know it's like playing a movie. Tomb Raider kinda is evolving into that. But early on,
since the reboot,
that's like the direction they're trying to take it. But even with that, it's still, you know, like the reboot itself was still almost like they were trying to bridge the gap between being linear and being open worldy. You know, it was close.
I mean, it was an open world game.
Sort of, but I mean, it's still kind of a linear story. You know, you got a big area. You know, you've got a big area, and you've got an actual, you know, very direct objective in order for you to move the story forward. But there's a lot of little side stuff. You know, I guess you could almost say that's quite similar to the structure that Assassin's Creed is, but Tomb Raider is just a lot smaller in terms of the map size that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? At least it feels like it to me when you're playing. It doesn't feel like you're going through all of freaking Egypt when you're doing when you're running around.
I agree with some of you saying, and I don't agree with other things that you're saying. Like it's not Tomb Raider and Assassin's Creed are not like Grand Theft Auto, where there's a lot of like significant side things that you could be doing. Like you can do the side quest in Grand Theft Auto, and that's gonna carry off into its own like side story. There's nothing really like that, but at the same time, there's still substantial things you can be doing.
No, I mean that's with every adventure game. But what I'm trying to get at is when you're building buzz for your new game in any universe, there's always something that the developers glom onto in order to promote. Right? They glom onto it and they throw it out there and like, oh, this is gonna grab you, this is gonna get you, this is why we're doing it, this is it, this is the big one. Oh, it's gonna be so great. Honestly, I haven't heard jack about this aside from the fact that it's a new Tomb Raider game.
Well, that's sort of what I was gonna get at. I think the hook for the new Tomb Raider games, like ever since the reboot, has been the story. Right. It's like
Which is fair.
Like you care and everything, you want to take care of Laura, and then there was, all the horrible things that could happen to her, especially in that first game. I think the hype for this game, though, was killed by the second game, though, when it was, exclusive to Xbox for a little bit. And then launched the same day as Fallout 4. And now this third one's coming out, and none of that's happening, but nobody cares anymore. Because for a lot of people, the last time they played a Tomb Raider game was back in 2013. Even though it's actually only been 2 or 3 years since the last game.
Yeah, I was never a big Tomb Raider fan, and I enjoyed the reboot, but it wasn't enjoyable enough for me to finish it. I played it, I had my fill, and I kind of moved on. I know a lot of people that absolutely love the game. It is a fantastic game. It's a very, very well done game. It just didn't grab me.
Okay, no, that's fine. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was really hyped for that reboot, and it didn't really meet my expectations per se, but I still really enjoyed it. I was expecting like a 5 out of 5. I got a 4 out of 5. That's still good. It's still great.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Shawn?
Yeah.
Tomb Raider for me. I don't know. Tomb Raider for me just feels like it has potential, but doesn't know exactly what it wants to be. Doesn't want to be kind of like Uncharted. Doesn't want to set itself apart. Doesn't want to go back and harken back to some of the older games. And like you were saying, BJ, a lot of times they'll have that kind of hook. What separates this game from other games, not just within its franchise, but from the rest of its competition? And I've not heard anything else about it. I've heard, oh, it's a new Tomb Raider game. It's coming out this year. I don't care.
I'm disappointed by that, but I also don't blame you because I just think, the hype has been kind of killed for the game. And, I mean, I'm sort of interested because I love Tomb Raider ever since the very first one on the PS1. But I don't know, the series ever since those days seems to have trouble locking people in. Even after, this isn't even technically the first reboot per se, because there was a soft reboot with Tomb Raider Legend. And then then they had the remake and then Underworld, and Underworld was not a bad game, but
No, honestly, I don't think. Well, I can't say any of them because I didn't play all of them, but from my remembrance of the history of the game itself, none of them were particularly bad games. They were, for me, they were just kind of there.
The sixth.
Which one was that one?
The Angel of Darkness. It was the one that came out early in the PS2's life cycle.
Oh, I didn't even know that one came out. So,
but that's the thing. That game is hot garbage. It's the one game in the franchise, in the main kind of franchise, excluding spin-offs and all that kind of stuff. It's the one game that I would say this is garbage. This is bad. This is a straight up bad game.
What I will say about the franchise now, it reminds me of the Tomb Raider movie that came out last year. That's what I feel like. People remember the Angelina Jolie movies.
Shawn.
Yeah.
That was this year.
This year?
Yeah.
And you see my point.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
And it's just utterly forgettable. It's there, like you mentioned, and it's just there was a movie that came out apparently this year.
By the way,
I swear to God that was end of last year.
The reason why I know this is because one, it came out around the time of my birthday, and this year, and two, I was like looking up movies to watch, and it's coming out on Blu-ray and DVD like this week.
Damn. Yeah. And I just feel like the hype for that movie was like there and gone. And that's
that was because it was good, but
they just didn't need to do it. I mean, I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh my god, it's actually happening.
Anyone actually, not excited about it? I am halfway excited about it, enough to talk about it, but not enough to actually buy it and play it. But no, Kingdom Hearts 3, for me, I mean, not 3, but Kingdom Hearts is like one of those franchises that I wish I had stuck to when I started it, because I did have fun with the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had fun with the second one until I started playing around with that damn car ship maker thing.
The gun ship?
That thing drove me fucking crazy. I felt like I was making a battle mech in a freaking cartoon, and it just wouldn't go together right, wouldn't fly right, didn't shoot in the right direction. I was like, fuck this game, man. And I stopped playing it. And that's like nowhere near the rest of the game. I actually had fun with it until I got to that freaking part of it. And now, Kingdom Hearts 3, only thing I'm really interested. Well, I'm not even 100% saying I'm interested. I'm just kind of want to see how many other Disney characters or licenses that they put in this one. That's just my interest in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's about it.
My understanding is that this Kingdom Hearts is going to be very heavy on Pixar stuff.
Okay. So, I did see all the pictures with like Toy Story and stuff. So I'm guessing they'll have what? Incredibles.
Maybe I know there's stuff for Monsters Inc. Wreck-It Ralph. That's not Pixar, but he is in there.
Yep. But yeah, all them dudes.
Yeah. My guess is they'll probably be like, everyone's wondering if Star Wars is going to be in there. If there is Star Wars,
what I'm wondering as well.
That or even Marvel. If it is, we'll probably see it at E3. So everyone could be like, "Oh my god,
I'm not buying this one either!" Oh, like what was their little figurine game that like went
Disney Infinity?
Yeah, Infinity or whatever. They stuck everything in that handbasket, and everybody looked at them like they were crazy.
Yeah,
it's like nobody buying all this stupid little toy stuff. Anyway, there is some kind of, and they haven't announced it, but apparently there's rumor of it, or they teased it or something. They're doing something with the Avengers.
Oh, right.
They just
I forgot about that.
The stuff that they talked about, the way every news outlet has kind of talked about, they just call it Avengers Project.
Yeah.
Say what kind of game, what genre, anything. They just say Avengers Project. What are we guessing it's going to be? I'm guessing it's a rebooted or redone Ultimate Alliance kind of game. That's my guess.
I would be okay. I like Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Especially since, what is it, Marvel Heroes went under. I'm thinking they're going full-fledged Ultimate Alliance.
That's as good a guess as any. I forgot about that. So
that's the only thing I can think of, because, I mean, you can't do fighting games because Capcom already butchered that basket.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Fuck that up.
You can't really do like a platformer or an adventure game, because you already have the Marvel Lego Avengers and like Lego stuff.
That does fantastic. Those are fun games.
Yeah,
you don't need to do that.
So the only thing I can think of is something like Ultimate Alliance, which they didn't like not too long ago. It might have been like last year, or since my memory is like this, apparently this year maybe. Didn't they do like remasters or bundle them together?
Yeah, I think that was either last year or the year before. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it might be coming time for that, especially with Sony doing Marvel's Spider-Man this year.
I mean, maybe the only thing that bugs me is that Marvel Ultimate Alliance was an Activision joint. I don't know if
I think they lost the license for that anyway. So
yeah, they did. But is that a problem if they're like, well, we're going to use the same idea, but it was developed by another company?
No.
Is that a problem? No.
I don't
think they care as long as it makes money.
I mean, you know the previous Spider-Man games were with Activision before, and now it's with Sony. So I don't.
Yeah.
And by the looks of it, it looks to be almost in the same vein as those previous Spider-Man games. So
that's true.
I don't think if they wanted to do an Ultimate Alliance, I think as long as they don't call it Ultimate Alliance, good.
Avengers Project. That's what we should call it.
Spider-Man Web of Shadows on the PS3 and Xbox 360 is underrated.
You heard it here first, people. I actually have that. It's sitting in my thing. I've never opened that yet. Got it for my birthday from my sons.
Is it shrink wrapped?
Probably.
If it is, that game is worth a lot of money.
Really? Rich.
Yeah. Used, it's like $30-something used.
Damn it! I think I might have broken it open once.
Well, then play it. It's a good game.
Yeah. Damn it! I'm not rich.
It's not amazing, but it's good.
Oh, okay. Life is Strange possible announcement kind of thing. Did either of you play that?
Yeah. I played the first episode, and for some reason never went to the other ones, but I need to do that. But based on the first episode, it's good. That's a very good game. I know they've been teasing Life is Strange 2 for a long time. We should probably hear something about it.
It's a good guess. We're pretty certain, from what I've heard, that they'll announce something for Dragon Quest XI, which I think is supposed to come out this year. Is it this year or next year?
It would make sense this year.
Yeah, it's this year. It's September something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm relatively certain we'll see something about that gameplay, all that jazz. I would think it would be absolute blasphemy if they did not mention something about the development of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which honestly, even if they did finish it, I probably wouldn't play it. Despite loving Final Fantasy VII, I just can't see myself going through that whole story over again. Even if
it's Final Fantasy VII, the PC port on the Switch. That's what they'll do.
I mean, that's fine. Look, here's the way I look at it.
On the Switch, I would play it, but I don't have Switch. But yes,
I'm fine with that.
I'm good with that. Yes.
On that note, that actually is something that I want. I would like more ports from Square Enix, but better, because they have a lot of they have a lot of games that they port over to like.
You want more better ports, or just more ports done better?
More ports, but done better.
You want better games that are ports, or
I think it would make more sense. I know it's kind of like one of the older things that they've done. I would like to see them take like Final Fantasy 1 through 6, bundle them all together, like in a big box bundle, basically, and say, "Here you go." They did that with 1 and 2 on the DS, I think.
Yes, they did. Not the DS, the GBA.
Yeah, GBA.
And PS1.
Yeah, they did an anthology on PS1. I can't remember which ones they did.
I had all of them. They had Final Fantasy Origins, that was 1 and 2. They had Final Fantasy Anthology, that was 5 and 6. And Final Fantasy Chronicles, which was 4, and Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
All on PS1.
No love for the onion kids.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 3 wasn't released until the DS.
I doubt they'll ever do a full-blown every freaking Final Fantasy anthology for a modern console. I doubt they'll ever do anything.
Yeah,
like
I would love that, but I don't.
That's too much nostalgia for stuff that I'd probably never play.
That's why I said 1 through 6, because they're already working on the 7 remake.
Yeah.
I think people really like 8. I've never heard.
I like it.
Did they even make a Final Fantasy 9? I don't know.
I have no problem with it, but you said people, as in general consensus. And general consensus about 8 is not positive.
I liked it. I had no problem with it. It was the stuff after 8 that I couldn't stand. I couldn't do 9. I couldn't do 10.
Really? You couldn't do 9?
And No, I couldn't do 9. Is that the one that had the water and the stupid singing in the whatever ball or whatever? I started that one. I just my eyes started glazing over.
That was 10. I think you're talking
was that 10? Okay, 9 is the one. 9 was the one with the little with like the little one remake looking 3D guys. Was that 9? Where they had to do. I'm gonna have to look it up again. All I know is I actually tried those after 8, and my eyes started glazing. That was when right after 8 is when I stopped playing Final Fantasy. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Okay.
I think that was in part because of the god awful movie that they made around that time frame, and that just kind of put me off to everything that said Final Fantasy.
The Spirits Within.
Yes, the Spirits Within.
Yeah, that came out in 2003. It was after 10. And
I actually paid for that movie and went to the theater to see it.
You poor son of a bitch.
Just bundle all the Final Fantasy 13 games together, throw them on the Switch.
No. What? Why those?
Oh yeah.
Because it's Square Enix.
Okay, look, I would like a collection. I don't think that's gonna happen. What I would like to get though is at least re-releases of each game, but at least have like the different versions within that. So maybe like a 1 collection, a 2 collection, 3 collection. Because you know how they keep redoing the graphics?
They don't need. Square Enix is god awful with their remakes.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want better ones.
From what I've heard, the actual secret of Mana remake is hot garbage. How can you bust up a glamorous, goodness gracious, awesome freaking RPG like that?
That's why I said better. That's why I said better.
Hey, we already have proof that they can't do better. Just don't do it. Don't. Just tell them, look, go freaking get one of those little retro arcade consoles that has all the stupid ROMs on it and play it there. Leave it there. Just don't touch it, Square. Go ahead and figure out something, because you think about it, Square is as bad as Capcom. It's like trying to do, sticking all these damn collections and stuff together and trying to remake and redo. Do something new. Do something good. Just like you said, Esteban, just do better. Yeah. We need better. We need new. We don't need remakes. Just do better. Period.
I see where you're coming from. I wish that I look. I guess I just want my cake and eat it too. I just want them to be better at everything.
Oh, we are. Hey, we're all gamers here. We all want that. It's just not gonna happen with Square Enix. That's right. Throw up the Wu-Tang sign. Shawn was doing.
It's a square. It's just a damn square. What's the Wu-Tang? Shouldn't it be a W?
It's a W. You know what I mean.
I was just about to do a W, but I just realized no. This is actually the Weezer sign. But
I thought it was for Whataburger. I don't know.
Tang.
There you go.
No. Okay, should we move on to Devolver? Because
I was actually going to say something else. Just as a prediction, I will predict that they will release another DLC pack for Final Fantasy 15. This will be the 856th one.
I see that coming too.
And they're probably going to announce something that we won't see for another 10 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. I think just about every one of these developers is going to do that, but who am I? Who am I?
All right, so you want to do Devolver before Bethesda?
Not really, but yeah, sure.
I would like Hotline Miami 3. I don't think it's going to happen. I would like Not a Hero 2. Does anyone remember that game? Not a Hero? It was awesome. I reviewed it.
I remember hearing about it. I didn't play it.
It was. I like that game a lot. I would like a sequel to it. But other than that, I don't expect anything from that conference. It'll be shenanigans.
It's going to be the fun conference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're going to talk
they're
about
the ones that are going to have the backwards cap. They're going to go on their hoverboards. They're going to be like, "Hey kids, you want to know what's going to be fun? It's going to be this Devolver Digital conference. You guys got to tune in for this." Yeah, memes. You know the way. Yeah. Come on.
They're going to announce Mark Echoes Getting Up Contents Under Pressure 2, a game that no one remembers about tagging.
Yeah, sure.
Anyone remember that game? No one remembers that game.
I remember hearing about it. I never saw it or played it.
Yeah.
I remember talking about it, but that's it.
And I'm only bringing that up
because he was trying to save that. He was trying to save the rhinos around that time too, right?
I couldn't tell you.
I think that was his big deal. That was like a part of the proceeds of the game or something weird like that was supposed to go to saving the rhino horns or something.
Okay.
Because that's like on his logo, right? A rhino.
I don't know anything about Mark Echo.
That could just be me talking out my ass. Either one, I don't know. I remember hearing something like that.
I mean, there's worse causes. I know that poachers are like assholes and always taking rhinos' horns. So, okay,
hey, something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's Devolver. Great.
Yep.
Get on to the good one. The one at the end. It's not the last one, but it's the last one for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda. I love them so.
Rage 2.
I have no idea. I didn't even touch Rage 1.
I wanted to. I never played it, and it's always a game I actually wanted to play. I was interested in it. And
I was never interested in Rage, but I heard people say that it was better than forever. Yeah, I actually heard people say that it was better than critics gave scores. You know, it was better than the scores that most critics gave.
Yeah. Underrated.
Yes, that's what I heard.
Underrated. Maybe not the best game ever, but it's still worth your attention.
Yes, that's what I heard about. So hopefully Rage 2 brings it all together. They get their ish together, and it's an awesome game. I don't even know what Rage is supposed. What the hell is Rage supposed to even be about? I don't even.
It's like a Mad Max style world.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Or something about cars, driving, and dust. That's all I know. And I remember it was like the customization of the cars or something like that didn't make sense in the first one, or it didn't have a whole lot of bearing or something on the game. It was something weird like that.
I think it's either open world or semi-open world.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll be better. We will definitely see Rage 2.
Yeah.
That's going to be basically the crowning jewel at the moment.
I will say,
that's supposed to be their big, or is there supposed to be another big?
I have no idea what else could be big because they've already kind of...
Please stand by.
Okay, look. Okay, how about that? It's not going to be a new Fallout. There's no way. There hasn't been enough time. There has not been enough time unless they hired.
That's right. I'm still building stupid fortifications in my daggone Fallout game. How the hell did they release another one? I didn't even finish building up the first little stupid ass town. Oh, sorry.
Unless they actually did what they did with Fallout New Vegas and they hired an outside studio, which, to be fair, could happen. You know.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
Fallout
that's
New
a
Vegas too,
mistake.
sure.
We see how that worked with BioWare. Don't do that, please, Bethesda. Don't. No.
Well, I mean, some people like Fallout New Vegas. My understanding is that it's buggy as hell, but it's also like there's some people who like it even more than Fallout 3.
I never got to it. I did hear that Fallout New Vegas was better than 3.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun with 3.
It could always be possible that's a remaster, remaster of 3.
I'd love that,
or a remaster of New Vegas.
I would love a remaster of 3 and Vegas, just kind of glommed together in one big, massive new remake. That would be awesome.
Like a remaster collection?
You've done freaking Skyrim to fucking death in every single... Oh, sorry. Yes! They need to just freaking mash, remake, and just get all kinds of Fallout 3 goodness.
I'd be okay with that. A remaster,
I'd actually play that.
A remaster is not going to be the big game, though, so I do think the big game is Rage 2.
Yeah.
They'll probably say something about Quake Champions. It's been in early access for a while.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, that's their big esports push.
I doubt anyone will play it, but yeah, go for it. Keep pushing.
I do it because that's
probably going back to our discussion last freaking week. Oh, it'll probably be a battle royal suckfest. I mean, no,
don't do that. Kidding aside, I don't think they'll do that because the whole point of Quake Champions is to push back the arena shooter genre.
I bet you they'll throw a
back.
stupid battle royale in there as a mode. I can just feel it. I feel it in my gonads. There's going to be battle royale mode in there someplace. Ugh.
Well, as long as they have the arena shooter stuff, because honestly, in terms of shooters, that's actually my favorite form of it. So.
Yeah,
you'll probably be right, though, BJ.
I don't want to be right, but it probably will be.
I'm hoping they do something with Wolfenstein, like they had the Old Blood after the New Order. Like they have something like a kind of like an offshoot game, a side game with Wolfenstein. Since New Colossus came out last year?
Yeah. I wonder because New Colossus like it didn't bomb, but it was like kind of buried under the other games that came out around the same time.
It was. I freaking have that game. For me, it was like one of those games that it was one of those games that looked good, supposedly played good, is good, but because it came out, because of like when it came out, it didn't really give a lot of time for people to really marinate on it.
Yeah.
It was almost like they...
It came out the same week as Assassin's Creed Origins and Super Mario
Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey. And like it didn't like come out right before like all of the big time games or something like that.
It was the same week as that, and then I think the week after that was the new Call of Duty.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it was like it came out right before all the big rush of big games, so it was like everybody was hyped for Wolfenstein. They were like, "Oh, this game is so great! Oh, new shiny Call of Duty!" Oh. And then
it came out like right in the thick of it. Especially the way that the holidays set up now. Usually, Call of Duty is almost like the end of it.
Yeah.
All the big games are coming out. Technically, they start coming out in September, but they start really coming out in October.
Yeah,
and then
mid-October into November.
And then into November, and then it ends around the second week in November. And then you might get some stragglers in the beginning of December, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's basically it. But yeah, that's all I remember of it. It was like, because like I said, I do have, is it the first one or the second one? I think I have this. No, I think I have the first one. I won't lie. I don't have the second.
I actually played the first one this year for the first time.
That's right. I really want to play both of them because I remember freaking Wolfenstein from back in my Commodore 64 games, and I loved that one.
Wow, like the original Castle Wolfenstein.
The freaking original Castle Wolfenstein with the little blue SS Trooper going and like pixelated, just going. Wow. I freaking loved that game. That was so much fun. And the little freaking pistol that you had to like angle and turn and shoot people. It was so hard to freaking control. But I loved it.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I think we have to go through these next couple kind of quickly.
Okay.
I think we're running out of time.
Yeah, we've only got a couple more left anyway. Apparently, they have something that they may talk about. Starfield, something.
Yeah, that's the one all like people are getting hyped about. If you know anything about it, it's mostly just kind of like the sequel. People are saying like Skyrim and Fallout are in the same universe, and Starfield is the one that connects them together.
Maybe.
In space?
Yeah.
Or is that just the name?
Yeah, I heard something about that it's supposed to be like the same as those two, but in space.
Yeah.
Awesome. If it doesn't have Buck Rogers, I'm not buying it. Okay. And I think we already even covered this, that more than like there's going to be a sequel or something announced that has to do with either Skyrim or Fallout. We kind of covered that.
I don't think Elder Scrolls is getting a sequel. My guess is there'll probably be another update to Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, because we know that, and I think we just said it, they apparently are going to do a new Skyrim, but before they start Skyrim, they had a project before it, and more than likely that project is Starfield.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
And then they'll throw in some sort of like game that doesn't really matter, like a card game or a mobile game.
They
always have one.
Game.
Yeah. They always have one. The first one was Fallout Shelter, and the second thing that was like, oh, we're bringing out a card game based on something. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah.
So I think that covers it, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Yep. We got it. We hit it. Awesome. Oh, that's E3 Part 1. You got to stay tuned with us. As always, every freaking Tuesday at freaking 10-ish Eastern Time. We'll be hitting it up, as always, breaking things down to every little pixel, every little digital rude boy that we can get it to. Mm-hmm. As usual, I am your host, Bunny3, co-host, Bunny3000, along with Esteban and Shawn. Tell them what you guys are getting into, what you guys are going to have, on your channels or in the interwebs or whatever.
Me or Shawn?
Go ahead, Esteban. Go ahead.
Okay. This week on the channel, on my channel, my YouTube channel, I have a VOD of me playing ukulele that came out yesterday. Later this week, I was going to do this yesterday, but I didn't. But later this week on Thursday, I'm going to be streaming something. I don't know yet, but it's going to be. I'm trying to decide whether or not to stream like the Street Fighter 30th anniversary or the Sega Genesis Classics collections. I got both of them.
Street Fighter, hello, vote.
Yeah, right.
What if you stay tuned to your Twitter? You might be doing a poll.
Yeah, maybe I'll play them both. Maybe I'll just go through all of them in one stream and be let's just play through some random crap and see how it is. It's not bad.
That's right. Play them both at the same time with 2 controllers. Ooh!
I'm not skilled enough for that. But that'll be Thursday, and that'll also be, I believe, the first stream that I do that's simultaneously on Twitch and YouTube.
Ooh. See? There you go. Play one on one channel and the other channel at the same time. Beautiful. You are the man. Shawn, tell them what you're going to do, man.
I'm working on a video that's going to tie in with E3. I'm hoping that I'm going to take a look at last year's E3 and see how much has progressed in a year. Kind of like as a nice little follow-up there. So That's what I'm working on. I'm going to try to get this done this weekend.
Cool.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, your boy Bunny3000 is going to be struggling hard, trying to figure out what the freaking hell XSplit is doing to me on this streaming life, because it's making me struggle hard. So I'm going to be working with freaking tech support with XSplit. Oh, freaking, no, I'm just playing. I am going to be working with them and trying to see whether I can squeeze in here and there a little bit of State of Decay 2. I've been having a blast with that game, and because I haven't been able to stream it, hopefully I can also get a little bit of time to get BattleTech in there also. So stay tuned, keep your eyes on it. I might be able to get something out there, but if not, eventually you will. Just stay tuned. Just go ahead, follow all of us. You'll see all of it come in there. As always, hit the follow, hit the subscribe button, all the little buttons, hit them shiznits so that you can get all the goodness that we got for all 3 of us, as well as Shaded Pixels. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a freaking wrap. Next week, the big presentations, the big mamma jammas. All 3 gonads are going to be, all 3 publishers, software companies, whatever you want to call them. Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, all of them. We are going to be covering them.
And the PC people.
And the PC peoples, PC Master Race, all y'all. We're going to have all those. They count me down. I'm like Jamie Foxx trying to do a daggone award show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shaded Pixels Podcast. Peace.